Hey, what's up, parents? Thank you so much for clicking on to watch this video for everything that you need to know for camp this coming year. I tell you what, I cannot believe we are already recording another camp video, because that means it's summertime and that's insane to me. But man, we are so excited for your student to come to camp with us this year. Now, real quick, I need you to do something. If just you is watching this, I need you to hit pause and then go get your student wherever they are, bring you in so they can watch this video with you, or vice versa. A student, if you found this link and you're watching this, but a parent is not with you, please get and so you can watch it together, or at least make sure that you both watch it at some point, because there is information that's important for both of you on this video, because hopefully in this video we will cover everything that you need to know for camp this year. And let me just first off say a word to the parents watching this. Just want to say thank you, man, from our ministry team, from our leaders. Just thank you for really trusting your student with us for the entire week, for trusting with us, or trusting them with us physically. You're obviously putting them on a bus and they're going to be gone for 4 days, which is a big deal to let your student do that, to be in our care. And so thank you for trusting us with them physically to get them back home safe, but also thank you for trusting us with them spiritually. All week we're going to be teaching the word. They're going to be in small groups talking about the Lord, and just for you to trust our ministry enough that you'll let us pour into your student for a week to point them to Jesus. And we're so thankful for that, and I'm thankful for that, and just want you to know that does not go unseen and it does not go underappreciated. I am so grateful. But this video, I'm going to try to keep it as quick as we can, as everything that you need to know for camp. So first, I want to give you a really important phone number that you need to have as a parent just to write down just in case of emergency. And that's the number of Awanatah Valley Christian Retreat. That number is 864-836-3956. 864-836-3956. We've been going to Awanatah now. This is crazy. I believe this is my 7th year taking students to Awanatah. And one of our favorite parts of it is that there is basically no cell phone service at Awanatah. That always kind of freaks maybe some first-time parents out of how do I get in contact with my kid? But I tell you, parents, it's an amazing thing to look around the cafeteria at lunch and dinner time and to see students not just looking at their phones, but actually talking to one another, right? The no cell phone service is a gift, but also it means it's kind of hard to, contact and text your student that way. So this number is important, that in case of an emergency, just an absolute emergency, that you need to get a hold of your student quickly. That is Awanatah's phone number. But another phone number that's better to have and good to have is our church office phone number. And that number is 704-882-1005. 704-882-1005. If an issue comes up that's maybe not of an emergency, but just something that you need to make sure is some information that your student gets, just call that church office number. You can let them know and they'll make sure they get the word to us, and we can let your student know. But those are two important numbers that you need to know. Now, when it comes to the stuff that you probably really care about, and that's the details of camp, Monday check-in happening June 22nd. Our doors are going to open for check-in at 12:15. Our doors are going to open for check-in at 12:15. Now, there's some of you who I love dearly, and you love to get there 45 minutes early. Hey, if you want to do that, more power to you, but those doors will not open until 12:15. And so from 12:15 to 1 o'clock, that's what time we'll be having our check-in. And so really, you can just get there at 12:15 to make sure your student gets checked in on time by 1 o'clock. We'll release a video about a week before camp that just really walks through what that check-in flow is going to look like, and so there should be no questions. But for right now, just know the doors open at 12:15 for check-in, and at 1 o'clock our check-in closes. Now, the reason that's important is because what we'll do is when we check in down here where we meet at on Wednesday nights, at 1 o'clock we're going to have all of your students in the room where we meet at on Wednesday night, and we're going to go over our camp rules and everything to expect one time before we get on the bus. That way just your students have no excuse for not knowing the rules and not knowing everything that's going on. And so again, that means the doors open at 12:15 for check-in and they close at 1 o'clock. And our goal will be to be leaving by 2 o'clock on that Monday, June 22nd. Now, if you want to, I know some parents every year, you want to stay and wave bye to the buses. You can totally do that if you love your kid and you want to do it, but I'm not going to judge you at all. If you drop them off at 12:15 and you say, I'll see you on Friday, and you leave. Once you drop them off and check them in, there's nothing more you need to do. And our plan, hopefully, will be that we will be returning home on June 26th by 11:30 to noon, somewhere around there. But we'll be sending out text alerts, posting on Instagram our estimated time of arrival for that day. So that's check-in and arrival home. Now, this is an important part. Make sure your student has not fallen asleep yet. Elbow them real good. Let them know these are the rules, right? These are the rules, because rules are good, right? God gave us rules so that we can know what to do and have freedom in those things. So here's the rules for camp for the week. Number one is see what to bring for dress code, and we'll get to that in a second, but there is a dress code at camp that your student needs to abide by, and I'll talk about that in a second when we talk about what to bring. Now, number two, listen to and respect your student ministry workers at all times. This includes myself, includes our student ministry team staff, and includes all the adult volunteers that are going to camp with us this week. And can I just go ahead and give them a shout out? Many of you maybe know some people that are adult leaders, but man, for us to take the number of students that we do to camp, it is legitimately not possible. We could not do camp the way we do it without adult leaders from our church taking PTO, giving up a full week to come. I think about it, a lot of parents, y'all are sending your kids off to get away for the week, and yet we got leaders who are coming with us to pour into your student for the week. And I'm so thankful for them and in the investment they're making into the life of our ministry and your student. And so we do not want to see them disrespected at all. Nothing will make me madder than seeing a leader disrespected. And so we're going to listen to and respect our student ministry workers at all times. Number three, respect each other, respect each other's property, and respect the property of Awanata Valley. Here's a great rule. If it's not your stuff, then don't touch it and don't mess with it. Nice, easy, simple rule. No cursing, no foul language, no crude content. Hopefully you're not talking like that anyway, but we don't want to walk in a room and overhear crude content, foul language like that. So that's not allowed on our campus that week. We're going to be uplifting in the way we encourage one another. No PDA. No one wants to see that, right? No one wants to enjoy that. There's some married couples going on the trip, me and my wife included. We got a license to do that and have PDA, but your student does not. I'm sorry if the love of your life is on the trip with you and you can't have PDA all week, but no one wants to see it, so make sure that doesn't happen. Here's a big one. No guys in girls' rooms and no girls in guys' rooms. When we get to Awanata, there should be no reason ever for a guy to enter into a girl's room, and there should be no reason ever for a girl to enter into a guy's room. This is one that we will have an insanely short leash on, basically no leash at all. If we find a guy in a girl's room or a girl in a guy's room, then we will be calling you parents and having you make the 2-hour drive up to come pick your student up. So that's just not going to happen. So no girls in guys' rooms, no guys in girls' rooms. Always be in groups of 3 or more. So there's some trails at Awanata that you can go down. Awanata is a big campus, but it's also kind of tight together in a way where you can kind of see everything, but there are some trails. And so make sure you are always in groups of 3 or more. Even if it's just 2 girls or even if it's just 2 guys, we need you in 3 or more. So get another girl to go with you, get another guy to go with you, 3 or more, especially on those trails that they have. A small group leader needs to know where you are at all times. So again, this is really pertinent to the trails they have at Awanata, but we don't want you just to disappear into the woods and we have no idea where you are. So make sure you let a leader know. No vaping, no alcohol, no dip, none of those 3 things. Again, that will be a very short leash. And if we find that, we're probably going to make the call to you as a parent and have you come up and get your kid from camp. So no vaping, no alcohol, no dip. We will send you home. No pranking, right? Pranking is one of those things. It's always funny if you're the one pranking. It's not so much fun being the one who's getting pranked. So just no pranking. You'll pay for the damage of whatever it causes, and we don't want to see that happening on our camp that week. Do not touch other people's stuff, period. You know, when we get to Awanata, there's going to be some rooms that have quite a few beds in it that your students are going to be staying in with other leaders and with other students, right, for that week. And so there's going to be stuff laying everywhere. Just keep your stuff in your spot and don't touch other people's stuff. The last rule, this is a rule I can't believe, parents, that we had to set, but you cannot set an alarm until 7 a.m. at camp. I remember when I used to go to camp, if breakfast was at 8:30, I was like sleeping in like 8:29. Like I was getting as much sleep as possible. But every year we got some students who have the great idea that they're going to wake up and see the sunrise, and they set their alarm for 6 a.m. And the problem with that is they hit snooze 5 times and they're waking up their entire room and they're just laying in bed. So we made this rule last year and we're continuing it to this year. You cannot set an alarm until 7 a.m. And I just want to tell you, violating any of these rules may result in you having to be sent home. And parents, how we do that, and I hope we don't have to do that this year, praying we don't have to do it, but how we do that is we call you and your student gets to sit in Awanata's office while you make the 2-hour drive up to pick them up. And we do not want to do that, but that way you know the rules, so hopefully we don't have to make that call. Now on this email, you're going to see a very important thing, and that is our parent and student agreement, right? We just need you to print that off, sign that as a parent, sign that as a student. You can scan it and email it to Betsy. You can bring it with you, but basically what this is just so we know that you both say you watched the video, that you understand the rules, that you understand everything you need to know. So you can't get to camp and say, well, I didn't know, because if you sign the agreement, then you're saying you did know. So those are the rules. Make sure you sign those camp agreements. So the rules, now we're on to the packing list. For all you type A planning people, this is your section. Make sure you bring a Bible. You know what I love is that we are going to have 10 sessions in the Word that week at camp. It's amazing to me that in a spell from Monday night to Thursday night, we get to gather in 10 sessions that way for singing and worship and receiving of the Word. So make sure you bring a Bible. Make sure you bring a pen and a notebook. I believe the Lord is going to show your students some awesome stuff at camp, and they need to be ready to write it down. So bring a pen and a notebook. We will provide camp books that have the schedule for the week, that have some places for notes and some things like that. So we'll provide that, but I know a lot of you like to bring your own notebooks. Bring that. Bring clothes that can get dirty. You know, I love that we have students that like to dress up, and that's cool, and you can do that, but make sure you bring some clothes where you aren't really trying to impress anybody, and they can get dirty because there's a lot of walking, sweating at camp, and all that stuff. So bring clothes that can get dirty. Ladies especially, bring tops that completely covers chest and midriff. We don't want to have to make you change, but we will do that, and we'll try to do that as graciously as we can, but we want to avoid that if at all possible. Shorts that are no higher than mid-thigh and fingertip length, and I just want to say this is for the guys too. I never thought I'd have to make that rule, and then all of a sudden it's like trendy now for high school guys to wear absurdly short shorts. I don't understand it, but boys, we need you to make sure you do that too. So shorts that are no higher than mid-thigh and fingertip length. Bring a rain jacket. You know, I remember a couple years ago, it rained all week at camp, and we made the most of it, but I hope that doesn't happen again. But if your student's been to camp with us before, showers can pop up in that mountain like crazy. So make sure you bring a rain jacket because we don't want you to get soaked and not be prepared. Bring closed-toed shoes, tennis shoes. Man, a lot of our stuff is outdoors during the afternoon and free time, some of our games. So make sure you bring closed-toe shoes. There's a lot of walking at Awanata. I love it, but there's a lot of walking, so make sure you're prepared for that. Bring shower shoes. You know, there's groups coming into camp the week before us. Groups will be there the week after us. Obviously, we are all there together, so bring shower shoes. Bring a bathing suit. There's a lake at Awanata with zip lines and water slides and paddle boards and all of that. Boys, make sure it's a full coverage trunks for gentlemen. For the love of all things, no Speedos. That would be disgusting, and we'll make you wear different bathing shoes. So make sure you do that. And then full coverage one pieces for tankinis or tankinis for our ladies. And again, both guys and girls will make you change. And we don't want to have to do that, but we'll try to graciously do that if at all possible. But we just want to avoid it. So help us follow those rules there. And those are Awanata's rules as well. So make sure you do that. Personal toiletries. You know, I love Awanata, but we are not staying at the Hilton where you walk in and there's some soap and some shampoo and all that stuff. You need to bring that on your own. High school guys, make sure you bring your own. Don't count on just stealing someone's in the shower. Don't be that guy. Bring your own. Here's a big one: prescription medication and a completed medication form. You know, we're aware that some of you have medicine that you take routinely, or maybe you get headaches and are prone to that, and so you like to have some Tylenol or Advil or something of that sort. On this email, make sure you listen to this part, parents. On this email, there's going to be a medication card attached. And on this medication card, you can print that out and fill out what your student needs, if there's any medication that you would like for them to have or that they have to have, and make sure when you come to check in your student that you have that card with you, filled and signed, for your student to have there with you. There will be a box on there where you can check that your student can administer to it themselves, which hopefully that's the case. I know sometimes we have stuff that's a little more serious that maybe your student can't administer it to themselves. You can check on there a box where they need a leader's assistance or reminder, and we'll make sure we do that. Here's our philosophy on this: is we just don't want to walk into a room and see a student just taking pills and we have no idea what they have or that they had anything to begin with. So even if that's Tylenol, even if it's Advil, we just ask that you would do that, just so we can be aware of what your student has and we're not caught off guard and we don't get them in trouble when we walk into a room and we see that happening. So make sure you print off that medical card and fill that out and bring it with you to check in. Bedding, every bed at Awanata is a twin size bed. So some people bring sheets. I normally just bring a sleeping bag, just lay it on the mattress and you're good, but it is a twin size bed. Make sure you bring a pillow. Make sure you bring towels, washcloths. Make sure you bring bug spray and sunscreen. You know, everyone likes to laugh at the person who gets fried by the sun, but no one wants to be that person. So make sure you're not that person. Bring sunscreen, bring a beach towel, money. Now here's the cool thing about Awanata. When you pay for your student to come to camp with us, technically they don't need a dime once they get on the bus. Food is covered, water's there, obviously we'll have snacks and things like that. But Awanata does have a cool store that's got some snacks, some snow cones that are amazing. They got some shirts and hoodies and things like that. And so if your student wants to bring money, they can, but your student doesn't need money. This is a big one that we say every year, and every year people forget, is bring a refillable water bottle with your name on it. Bring a refillable water bottle with your name on it. So every time we leave the cafeteria, you can fill that thing up and make sure that you're hydrated for the week, as it's probably going to get hot in the middle of June in Awanata Valley. So bring a refillable water bottle. And if you have food allergies, you can bring snacks for yourself if you need to bring those. But Awanata has made adjustments as they did last year, where if you signed up for food allergies when you registered your student for camp, they'll get a special bracelet and they'll have meals there for them at camp. And we might be reaching out to you shortly in the next couple weeks if Awanata needs anything from us. But basically, if you have any questions about food allergies, feel free to ask us, but your student will be taken care of. So that's what to bring. Hope you can rewind that, or I know I'm talking fast. I'm trying to honor your time and I appreciate you watching it. But that's what to bring. What not to bring. I'm gonna read these kind of quick. What not to bring: weapons, explosives, firearms, fireworks, knives, matches, lighters, candles, alcohol, tobacco, vape, non-prescription medicine that's not on that card, clothing or other items with inappropriate images. This is a big one, right? Don't bring any clothing that has inappropriate images on it. Two-piece swimsuits, crop tops, Speedos, water balloons, squirt guns, and no computers, iPads, or gaming systems. Yes, believe it or not, parents, one year we had a kid that wanted to bring a TV and a PlayStation. That actually happened and we said no. So it's not a rule to not bring your phone, but I would encourage you, just have your student leave their phone at home. Just, there's no service there, but I get why students want to take pictures, and I understand that. But definitely no computers, iPads, or game systems. All of those things are what not to bring, and especially some of those big things of weapons, explosive firearms, alcohol, tobacco, things like that. Man, if we find your student with that, then we're probably going to call you and have you come and pick them up from camp. They know not to bring it, so don't even bring it. Don't even pack it, and it'll be a good week if we do that. So that's what to bring. That's what not to bring. Really quickly, I do want to give you, because I know some people are watching this and you've never been to camp with us before. Maybe you're a rising freshman or a current freshman. We're so excited that you're here. Or maybe you're a sophomore and up and you've never been to camp. But I do want to give you real quick just what the daily schedule looks like, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I'm going to go through this kind of quickly. But the camp schedule every day is wake up for breakfast. After breakfast, we'll have quiet time in the books that we've written. We'll have some quiet time devotionals that you can use, and just trying to instill in you a habit to get in the Word of God first thing for today. Get in the Word of God for yourself. So breakfast, quiet time, and then every morning we'll have 2 sessions that are happening that morning. On Tuesday morning, Josh Theriault, who serves on staff with us, he's going to be preaching. Brad Cowick, our young adult pastor, is going to be preaching. On Wednesday morning, Jeremiah Bullock, our East Campus youth pastor, is going to be preaching. Brad will also be preaching that day as well. And then on Thursday, Alvin Summers, our pastor down at East Campus, is going to be preaching. And we have a special surprise for the second session on Thursday that I don't want to tell your students about, but it's going to be really good, and we've never done it before. So we're excited. And what I hope you see in that is, man, all throughout the week, it is the Church at Indian Trail coming together to pull off this camp. It is our church staff not outsourcing anything as best we can. It is our church coming together to make an investment in the lives of your students. On Tuesday morning in our morning sessions, Trey Ivy and Peyton Allman, Rebecca Burke, they're all going to be coming down to lead worship for us. On our night sessions, Kason Preston, our worship pastor at the Lift, and a ton of the Lift band are going to be leading worship for us. Stefan Covington, our East Campus worship pastor. It is just our entire church coming together to make this happen, and I love seeing that every single year. So after session 2, we'll have lunch. After lunch, we'll have team time, where we split your students up into teams. There's 12 different teams, 12 different colors. I'll get to that in a second, but team time is awesome. We have free time after that. During free time, there is the lake, there's paddle boards, fishing, basketball, soccer, zip line, water slide, disc golf, spike ball, volleyball, Hummer rides. Basically, you can't get bored, okay? Like, there's something you can do, and just sitting around and hanging out with friends is one of my favorite parts, to watch students do that at camp. But that's during free time. At night, we have dinner. Leaving dinner, we will go to student prayer groups that we have. We'll let your student know more about that, but it's just students in small groups praying with and for one another before the night service. Every night, we'll have the night sessions. After the night sessions, we have small groups happening, where your student will be in a group of 6 to 8 other students with an adult leader, just talking about the day and seeing what the Lord's doing in their heart and their life, building that community with one another. And on Monday night and Tuesday night, we have some late night events planned after our sessions. And so that is the schedule of the week, and that is basically everything you need to know. So a couple quick final reminders. Reminder of the parent agreement that's attached to this email. Make sure you and your students sign it and turn it in, so we can know that you watch this and that you understand everything to expect. Students, look out for, at the beginning of June, we'll release, and we'll announce this on Wednesday and Sunday on our social media, we'll release a Spotify playlist of just songs that we're going to be doing that week at camp. So you can go ahead and begin to listen and get ready and make sure you know those. Students love it when we do that. And so we'll have the Spotify playlist released. We're going to release theme nights. If you've never been before, on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night of camp, we have theme nights. So in the past, we've done Bible character night. In the past, we've done thrift shop night. We've done all kinds of stuff where basically we have a theme and your student comes and dresses up for that theme. And so we're going to release these on June 3rd, that Wednesday night. So when your student comes to Wednesday night on June 3rd, they will hear the themes for the year. So that way they can start getting their outfits ready, and people coordinate outfits, and it is amazing. It's incredible. Team colors, we will let your student know their team color on June 10th. So theme nights are really being released June 3rd. On June 10th, your colors will be released. So if your student is on the red team, then they have about 15 or so days, I guess 12 days, to get red shirts, red bandanas, red spray paint. We give awards for the most hype and most spirited, so make sure your student comes ready for that. So June 3rd will be the theme nights. June 10th will be our team colors. We'll also release that video again the week before camp with the flow of check-ins, so make sure you're on the lookout for that. And one final thing, just to tell you parents, that I want to invite you to do is, man, we can do all kinds of stuff to prepare for camp, and we can make spreadsheets and have details and all that stuff, but I'm just convinced that the best thing we can do to prepare for camp is to pray. just to pray and seek the Lord, that, man, he would do an awesome, incredible work in the lives of your student and in our ministry. And you'll be getting actually something. We did this last year for the first time. It was amazing. You'll be getting an email from us in a couple weeks that basically is just going to ask you, what is a way that we can pray for your student? What's something your student's facing? What's something your student's going through that you want us to pray for? And what we'll do is we'll print off your responses on cards. We'll make it anonymous, so we won't put your student's name on it. And every single night before our night session, our leaders are going to pray over every single response that we get. And we just believe in the power of prayer. And so I would encourage you, our night sessions are going to happen every night around 7 p.m. Our morning sessions every morning are around 9:30, 10:45, a little flexibility there. I want to encourage you, maybe even now, just set a reminder on your phone that week, every night at 7 p.m., you're going to pray for your student. Every morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're going to pray for your student at 9:30. And let's just cover this week in prayer that we're going to see the Lord do amazing things that go beyond just 1 week, but truly will change a student's life down the road. And so, man, again, thank you for trusting us with your student. It's an honor to be your student's youth pastor, to serve your family in this way. We don't take it lightly. I'm so grateful, and I cannot wait to see what the Lord has in store for this year at camp.